Ready?
If you are,
Oh, no, I am not. There we go. In 5, 4.
It's time for BGFG.
Gonads are useful for their purpose, but they are no substitute for brains.
All right, here we go.
I have to say, well done, Bree. Well done. Well played, my adversary. Well played.
FEnix isn't gay, but if he was, he'd pick FreeMo.
Oh yeah, he'd be living down there with you in the bunker, man. Woo!
Once you go free, you always do the Z.
Like one day of not going to Duncan, and you could get a controller, a new Xbox, possibly even a cord.
And now the group that can't count its nuts and come up with the same number twice.
Welcome to BGFG episode 498. I'm your host, Chris FEnix, and joining me, as always, my brother from another mother, FreeMo.
yes,
How are you doing this week, sir?
I'm doing well. 2 weeks to prepare.
2 weeks to prepare for the great conversation and argument. So those that have not seen or witnessed some of the previous episodes where we did pieces of Zootopia Null, which is a show that we've been trying to start for probably about 10 years, just on interesting ancient alien conspiracy shit. See, I'm already breaking that. Anyway,
Yeah, the subtitle is Phoenix Crazy versus FreeMo's Logic and Reason.
That's not
Bullshit.
that's not true at all. I'm going to bring you facts that you can't dispute.
Sure.
You better do your research, buddy. Because I got vacation time I'm taking to write that show.
Look, all I got to tell you is this. There's nothing you can bring to the table that I can't refute logically and with rational thought.
Oh, this is going to be good. Okay, that's good. That's good to know because I want to brush up on a lot of things. But it's going to be an interesting show today. We have a lot to talk about, a lot of things that are interesting and funny and should get us some hate mail.
Oh, that's going to give me some mail.
Without a doubt. So if you don't have anything else to report for this week, because it's getting hot as hell already in the studio. So we should probably get going with the show. Yeah, you don't care. You
Waiting on you.
shut up.
BGFG News. You heard it here third.
All right, so first up in this week's news, it was just a matter of time. AT&T has lost information yet again. And let me take you back a little bit. April 2024, all current and former customers' data was stolen from AT&T. We're talking names, social security numbers, physical addresses, birth dates, and credit card details. Calls and texts as well. So that meant that even if you weren't on AT&T, a call or a text that could have gone to you, you could be compromised because that number is going to be in the list as well. Some 86 million people on the AT&T network. The good news was that the numbers were in the clear, but everything else was encrypted. Well, at that same time, the U.S. Courts granted approval of a $177 million settlement recently to the people that filed the lawsuits. The data has resurfaced. Guess what? Unencrypted on the same day. So I can only assume that the hackers went, oh, really? Really? It's safe? No, it's not. Oh, and according to the lawsuit, it was more like 109 million people that had this problem. So again, it goes to show you not only, AT&T ranks up there with, at least around here, for Citizens Bank security. Like, they're constantly getting compromised. it's a never ending. And we're going to get to this more in the show, but it's a never ending problem that people are getting compromised. It's every day. And I have people coming to the counter, a lot of boomers that are coming to my counter that are just shocked when I just break it down for them. Like I even told one lady the other day that your security online is an illusion.
Yeah, has been for a long time.
And I almost free broke out the whole what does your online security, Santa Claus, and the Easter Bunny all have in common? They're all figments of your imagination. Because it's just that's what it is. And speaking of hacks, since I get to listen to all these people talk about how the Indians that never get hacked because they're all doing the hacks, which is, look, the amount of people that come to my counter, especially boomers that are racist, is unbelievable. Just from every walk of life. But they're
Is it racist?
No, that is.
Or is it true?
What? I'm not even going down that path.
If a majority of your scammers and hackers are of a certain ethnic background or nationality, is it racist to state such?
Yes, because it's not true.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think so. But
where do you think the majority of them exist then?
I think it just exists globally. It's just that the banking
I'm not saying it doesn't exist globally, but if you had to do a pie chart, who has the biggest slice of the pie?
It depends on what you're talking about. Like if you're talking about to put before.
Oh, that's gonna give me some hate mail.
Are you sure you're ready for 2 weeks?
Oh, I'm going to be ready for 2 weeks. Don't you worry.
Are you sure?
Judge your pie hole for a second.
I mean,
I'm not. Shut up. I'm saying that it's a global problem. Now, the fact that the banking shut up, the banking hacks that
this
happen.
is how you win a war, folks.
The banking compromise. The banking compromises that happen do happen overseas, not necessarily in one particular country, but it happen overseas because it's very hard to. For instance, if you're in this country in the U.S. and you try to hack a bank, you will get the hammer thrown at you in the book. You will get 5 years federal time automatically just for circumventing their security. They will show up at your house. It's way different for the people that happen overseas, and that's from the UK to Middle Eastern to Asia. I mean, there's just a lot going on there. And this story I pulled was because most of the people say, "Oh, it's the Indians." Well, the car sharing company Zoomcar, which is in Bangalore, which is in India, lost personal data of 8.4 million people. The company came out and said that no financial information or passwords are compromised.
Did you see further down where it said this was an inside job?
Oh, that even makes it better. I didn't see that. So the company allows you to rent cars on an hourly,
which would make it who doing the hacking?
Oh,
Douchebag.
So the company allows you to rent cars on an hourly, daily, weekly, or monthly basis, kind of like the no-tell motel in your local area. They operate in India, Egypt, Indonesia, and Vietnam.
It was likely operated by who?
I said they operate. The company operates in India,
I'm
Egypt,
I'm talking about your no-tell motel. Who's that probably operated by?
Holy shit, you're going to get us in so much trouble.
That's going to give me some hate mail.
Oh my God, stop. Man.
I'm just asking questions, man.
Shut up. All right, moving on. We said it. Now research has proved it. We said it on the show before. Social media is a problem because social media is becoming the main source of news. And now...
Well, I mean, yes, but there's a reason why it has become most people's place to get news, because they know they can't watch mainstream news outlets and actually get the truth. I'm not saying they're getting it on social media, but...
No, I'm not. And again, I would agree with you because that is true. But I think that the culture, society as a whole, especially the younger generations, have changed that. They have no interest in watching TV. They have no interest in watching your morning or evening news. social media is the main source of news for them, overtaking traditional TV and news websites. This report, that the link is in the show notes, this report has been active for 14 years and surveyed almost 100,000 people in 48 different countries. They found that more than 54% of people surveyed get their news from Facebook, X, or YouTube, which is just, it's not shocking to us, but it is just a sad state of affairs that is actually happening. In the survey, they also found that more politicians will give their time to online hosts that align with their views, which also skews the traditional idea of mainstream media who usually ask the tough questions. This is somebody that's already on your side. Another trend they found was that the introduction of celebrity hosts on these platforms allow more opinions than facts. So if you have, and again, the example they cited was Joe Rogan. So many people watch the Joe Rogan show that I'm not saying he's fact checking or not. I'm saying that a lot of the things that come out of his mouth, people are going to believe automatically. I had a friend that would watch Joe Rogan religiously, and they would come to me and tell me all sorts of stuff that was said. And this was big during the COVID time, where Joe Rogan was spouting all these different solutions and pills and medicine that there was no proof. There was no medical proof that any of those worked. It was his opinion, but people took it as gospel, like literally. You get that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the whole ivermectin thing.
Yeah.
Which fast forward a couple years, and it was proven that ivermectin actually did help.
Okay. But again, the cure that was stated, like, does it help? Yes. Does it cure? No. And I hate when they do stuff like that, when they say stuff cures shit, and it doesn't. And when you have celebrity
if you're going to
hosts,
talk about stuff like that, bleach, ingesting bleach would have cured it.
yes, it would have. And why would
I
it have
mean,
cured it, Free?
Death
the
cures
listeners.
everything.
Death does cure everything.
Death is the ultimate cure.
So when we're looking at truth, I guess you could say, or facts, as opposed to opinions, and I'm looking at you, Fox News, unlike our show here, where you may hear a third, but at least you're getting some truthiness to it. And let's not forget that you have the rise of AI chatbots. People not even knowing that they're asking AI about news.
You know what the scariest thing in this whole article was?
But so many
TikTok
things.
is the fastest growing
Ugh.
source of news, and right, wrong, or indifferent, their algorithm is definitely skewed.
Oh, 100% skewed. And speaking of AI doing news reporting, it's not all knowing, right? So we're talking about OpenAI, Gemini, Copilot, Claude. There was a Citrix engineer, Robert Caruso, that set up a match between ChatGPT and Atari's 1979 video game Video Chess. Which, when I read this, I'm like, oh, that's going in the show. Like, you
Yeah.
could almost, like, you've said it before to me, like, you've read articles and be like, oh, that's making the show. Like, I don't even have to reach out to FEnix. It's going in. This was one of them. So 1979 Atari video game, Video Chess. That game is 46 years old. And what happened, you may ask? Well, ChatGPT made enough mistakes that it would have gotten laughed out of a third grade chess club at this point. ChatGPT got wrecked so hard.
ChatGPT acted so like a Gen Z.
Yeah. It got wrecked.
Do
at the
over,
beginner
start
level.
again. That's
Exactly.
not fair.
Yeah. In a 90-minute match.
I can't tell the difference between the pieces.
And this was only a 90-minute match. And it asks several times. ChatGPT asks several times to restart the match, which was hilarious unto itself. Which is, it's a 90. And if you're watching the video, and I'm telling you now that if you happen to be listening, just pause it right now. And when you get somewhere and you can watch the video of this show, because it's going to pay off near the end of the show. But on the show right now, on the video, I have shown the actual 1979 game. And it is so unbelievably basic. There is no way. But look, if you're relying on
in ChatGPT's defense,
Mm-hmm.
It's not designed to necessarily do analytical thinking. It's designed to source materials and give you a summation of what you've asked for.
Okay. FreeMo, you ignorant ass. How many times are people in this day, are you thinking that people hit up ChatGPT and expect those type of answers?
Oh, I'm just trying to nicely point out that ChatGPT is just going to make us dumber.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Closing out the segment this week is we were talking about social media and things like that. For the third time, the current administration has extended TikTok, the TikTok ban. They've extended it yet again.
For another 90 days.
Yes. And
get your videos in while you can.
And here's a editorial commentary from me personally. How come we can bomb countries, but we can't ban a social media platform? I wonder why. Is because that social media platform's currently approving of the current administration? Because when they weren't approving, no, you don't think?
No.
No.
There's no way TikTok is promoting Trump.
But it seems like it, I don't know, it just seems like it goes that way sometimes. All right, that's enough of this week's news because, again, I hate doing news segments sometimes. It wasn't a lot, so I had to grasp for stuff.
What's really crazy is you just literally threw the biggest news item of the month as an afterthought in your TikTok rant.
Yeah. It's mostly because we really don't do political like if we got into that whole situation, like it would be a lot. And it's just
we had a family dinner last night and there was discussion about the draft. I was like,
the draft?
Yeah. I was like, I don't think it's going to come to that, guys. But, you never know.
With the current administration, you don't know. My two youngest have made comments to me about that as well. So
it just depends. It depends on who wants to get froggy and get involved. But I don't see it happening.
I'll tell you this: that when it comes to politics that we don't do on the show, that if the draft gets invoked, that is one thing we will probably talk about because we both have younger kids. A lot of Gen Xers have younger kids that would be involved in that. So I think that's when we would actually break that rule yet again. But moving on, this week's music. Really happy about this week's music. Have you heard this song yet?
Yes, but not by this artist.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is going to be something a little different. This is the new Linkin Park. So those Gen Xers that are listening, you've heard Linkin Park before. This is Linkin Park with the new singer Emily Armstrong, and it's from their latest album, From Zero, which came out in November of last year. And this is the first album since 2017. The album name is a tribute to the original name of Linkin Park, which was Zero. And this is the first that Emily Armstrong on vocals and the new drummer Colin Brittain, whatever. FreeMo loves when I butcher names. This is their first endeavor, and I really, really like this song. So sit back, listen, and we have a lot of fun coming up on the second. Oh, it's like a 3-minute song for you, so don't be long.
Yeah.
One knock at the door and then we both know how the story ends. You can't win if your white flag's out when the war begins. Aiming so high but swinging so low, trying to catch fire but feeling so cold. Hold it inside and hope it won't show. I'm saying it's not, but inside I know today's gonna be the day you notice, 'cause I'm tired of explaining what the joke is. This is what you asked for. Heavy is the crowd, fire in the sunrise, ashes raining down. Try to hold it in, but it keeps bleeding out. This is what you asked for. Heavy is the crowd. Turn to run, now look what it's become. Outnumbered 10-1, done. Back then should've bit your tongue, cause there's no turning back. This path once it's begun, you're already on that list. Say you don't want what you can't resist. Waving that sword when the pen won't miss. Watch it all falling apart like this.
This is what you asked for. Heavy is the crowd. Fire in the sunrise. Ashes raining down. Try to hold it in, but it keeps bleeding out. This is what you asked for. Heavy is the crowd.
Today's gonna be the day you notice, cause I'm tired of explaining what the truth is.
This is what you asked for. This is what you asked for. Heavy is the crowd. Fire in the sunrise. Ashes raining down. Try to hold it in, but it keeps bleeding out. This is what you asked for. Heavy is the crowd. Heavy is the crowd. Heavy is the crowd.
Just a great track. I like that new song. That's
Yeah.
good. I mean, it might not be new, but it's newer. I mean, they're on tour, so
Yeah.
it's
No,
it's-
that's I mean I think it works. I think it's going to work, right? It's
Yeah.
still Linkin Park,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
I mean, obviously Chester's not there,
right.
but it's still Linkin Park. It's just
Get that feel.
the latest evolution of that band. But there's, obviously that hit hard, and I liked it.
Yep. All right. Before we get into this week's gaming segment, we have our drinks, and it is hot and steamy up here in the Northeast, and I am going with the classic refreshing Modelo. And FreeMo has a very large green cup with a straw.
Water.
Line. You took an awfully small sip. You know what?
It's
I'm not
water.
even okay. All right. Well, cheers to you and your water.
Yeah. Cheers.
Oh, that is refreshing. Thick style.
Gaming.
All right. So first up in this week's news, we have PlayStation Plus news. Okay. And now we're going on to Game Pass news. Because what is wrong with you, Sony? So Game Pass news.
They announced their 3 games for the summer already.
Jeez. And now we have Game Pass news. So you're going to get a day 1 title, FBC Firebreak, which looks pretty good. I haven't tried it yet. Rematch, which is a soccer game that everybody's enjoying.
FBC Firebreak was supposed to hit hard, and it is putting up dismal numbers. Like 1,900 was the peak number of players. Everybody was supposed to be whatever about this game, and it is doing nothing. It is underperforming. It will not be there by the end of the month. That's my prediction.
Oh, good prediction. I don't disagree with you. It looks okay. I mean, it looks good. I don't have any problem with the way it looks. I just haven't played it. Rematch, which is a soccer game that's getting a lot of notoriety right now.
That one is come out like gangbusters.
Yeah. Crash Bandicoot 4, which is nice to see that's out. And then you have a bunch of throwbacks. Warcraft 1 remastered, Warcraft 2 remastered, Warcraft 3 reforged. And at the end of the month, you're going to get Call of Duty World War II, which, if I remember correctly, that is a very good Call of Duty.
Yes.
The World War II one.
Yeah.
And next
I'll
up,
probably spend some time running through that again.
I might join you. I did.
Okay.
I did like that one. Next up, surprise to no one. And I really hope my kids are listening. Hundreds of mods on Minecraft are infected. with Java-based malware. A for-hire Russian-speaking company, which I love in the article, they said Russian-speaking. Like, you're not isolated in Russia, but it's a Russian-speaking company called Stargazer's Ghost. They target passwords, logins, and of course, crypto, because why not? You know, a 7-year-old's got crypto. I shouldn't say that because there's a lot of adults that play Minecraft. I don't see the draw in it, and I think FreeMo said the exact same thing. Where I don't see the draw in Minecraft. I don't. I'm not saying it's not a popular game. I'm not saying it's not a good game. I'm just saying I don't see it.
Yeah,
But-
crafting and building. Okay, I prefer to blow things up.
Yeah.
Well, you can blow things up in that FreeMo.
Unfortunately, my kids don't believe me, and they still don't believe me. They're insisting that it's just fine, which is okay by me. Moving on. So next up, we have a wonderful story. Fortnite has now announced a new mode. And we've said it on the show before, Fortnite is morphing into a larger platform than people think. Like, they've gotten a lot of licenses. They've secured the Star Wars license for at least May of every month. They've secured Rocket League. They've secured Lego, which is a gigantic plus for them. I mean, not many people get to license Lego, and they have. And though I think, again, that, and we've talked about it before, the menu system is quite convoluted, there's still things to do in that game. Even after May was over, I jumped in and I was just scrolling through some things. And I'm like, let me try the racing one. They have a racing piece on there, which is like some of the games that we've played, like Split Second, some of the games that we've played before, and it's not that bad. It really isn't as a platform goes. And now they have another piece called Blitz Royale. It is currently the most popular mode on the platform, even beating the current Royale. So as the name suggests, it's a lot shorter game than normal Battle Royale. The map is a fraction of the size of a normal map. Building is disabled. Yay.
Yeah.
And the way weapons are laid out is match leveling, which means you're going to get the weapons that you need in order to make this faster pace. And you don't have to scrounge for the good weapons. They're going to be right there for you. It's got a fast-moving storm circle and limited ammo, which is always a plus because during the month of May, during the Star Wars one, it's always unlimited ammo, which is also fun because you don't have to worry about reloading to find an ammo. As of right now, this is not a permanent mode, though. It's only going to be about 4 weeks, which I predict is going to be a permanent mode. Make no mistake, though. It works on all platforms, but is designed for mobile devices. And that reason is because they just recently were allowed back on the Apple platform. So that's going to be as millions of users right there that can now play it mobile. Even the battle bus flies in faster. So I'm interested to try this out. I'll probably try it out this week at some point.
Yeah.
Just
I,
to see what it's
I,
like.
I ran the update just to jump in there for a
Oh,
little
cool.
bit.
Did you?
Oh.
Did you jump in yet?
No, I figured, we'll try and find some time to jump in there.
Squeeze that in. Yeah. Yeah. People think that we have all this leisure time. We don't. I actually got a guy. I want to say this in a positive way about time, play games and stuff. It's summertime. There's a lot of lawn for FreeMo and I to cut at both of our properties. And sometimes that takes precedent. Like you look out there and you're like, I'm about to get in trouble with somebody. I need to go cut that shit. And again, sometimes like FreeMo's wife loves riding the rider lawnmower. So she'll do it sometimes. But of course, there's other things to do, trimming and seeding and things like that. For me, my wife, I don't have a rider lawnmower anymore, which the wife used to love.
Having to hack the forest back, reclaim space.
I had a guy. We have a couple of people in our town, tiny town, in the Northeast. We have a couple of people that Liza, my wife and I have known for years, that are on the downs right now. They're having a hard time. They happened to be walking by the other day, and it wasn't super hot, but it was like I was about to go out, and I'm like, hey, you want to cut the grass? I'll pay you to cut the grass. I don't have a lot, and I have a battery operated lawnmower, so it shouldn't take you long. But if you want, I'll let you do that. And they were like, yeah, sure. And it was like, I was like, $20. It's 20 minutes. So you're making $1 an hour, $1 a minute. But
Yeah.
it only takes me about 20 minutes, 25 minutes to cut the entire lawn. And I offered them that, and I gave them a knuckle of weed too. And they did it, and I was happy about that. But again, it's not a lot of free time sometimes. People think that we have all this free time. We don't. But we're going to get to some of the gaming, and we'll get into that more in a few minutes. Look, but while we're here, let's put another nail in the PlayStation coffin. Mainstay Beat Saber will be ending support for VR. You know, Sony, it's not only that, but they'll be ending support for all PlayStation platforms, Beat Saber. No more
Yep.
updates. And as of January of next year, which is literally right around the corner, about half a year away, no more multiplayer either. And none of this makes any fucking sense. This game is still one of the most top games for the now defunct VR2, which I have right back there in the corner. You can see it. VR2 is great. We've said it on the show before. The Sony PlayStation platform VR2 is phenomenal for their racing game, Gran Turismo. There's a couple of other games that are really good, and they did stop making it, but then you even agreed, and you do not like this shit, but you even agreed that the fact that they allowed an extension to use that VR headset, which is quite good, on Steam's platform for their VR.
Yeah.
One of the top sellers was Beat Saber. Why? Are you afraid of money, Sony? Is that what it is? Are you just fearful? Then they turned around and stated that though the support on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 will be dropped, they look forward to future VR contributions. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, this company
I don't know.
We've said before, and FreeMo and I will stand by that console wars are over and they're dead. Is that correct, Free? Can I speak for you on that one? Yeah.
Yeah.
So the movement is going to be to online gaming, cloud gaming, which is knocking it out of the park right now. But holy shit, Sony, what are you thinking? You have no titles coming out. You're top of the food chain in your top 10. There's a lot of Microsoft titles that are over there now. You've stopped your VR, which was better than MetaQuest, in my opinion. Much better than MetaQuest.
Oh, yeah.
Are you literally, you've killed off your TV business except for 2 TVs. You have literally one computer that's out on the Sony platform, Vio, right now. Are you afraid of money?
The Sony Ericsson phone, you know.
Even Samsung, as shitty as a company, because when a company gets so big, they get shitty. Looking at you, Microsoft. When a company gets so big, they get shitty. And Samsung is definitely at that level. They have so many products and so many SKUs and so many things across the line. HP's like that too. Their printers are apps garbage now. Their computers, they come out with so many SKUs that you can't even keep track. I've tried to get replacement screens for HP computers that I sold people maybe 6 months ago that they don't even make the screen anymore. They're just like, I'll give them another computer. We're going to give them a voucher. Are these people afraid of money? I don't get it.
We got to get this guy on the show.
Who?
In the comments on this article, Genghis. Sony